Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt the weight of being misunderstood? The ache of giving everything to someone or something only to feel like it wasn't valued? I want you to think back to that moment. Hold it in your mind for just a second. Feel the frustration, the hurt, the disappointment. Now, take a deep breath, because today we're not just going to talk about it. Today we're going to set it free. I need your focus right now, because what I'm about to share with you has the power to change the way you live, the way you lead, and the way you love. This moment is about you stepping into your own greatness unapologetically and without hesitation. Here's the truth. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. And that's okay. It's not your job to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. It's not your responsibility to drag people along who don't see the fire burning in your soul. Life is short, so short that wasting even a single moment trying to prove your worth to the wrong crowd is a disservice to the gift you've been given. You have a purpose, and that purpose isn't to convince others to believe in you. It's to believe in yourself so deeply that the world has no choice but to take notice. So, what do you do when they doubt you? When they criticize, when they laugh, when they're backs? You don't fight them. You don't argue. You don't plead for their approval. You leave them silently. Not out of spite, not in anger, but with a quiet resolve that says, I have nothing to prove to anyone but myself. Think about this. The most powerful transformations in life happen in silence. The seed that grows into a mighty tree does its work underground, out of sight. The butterfly, before it spreads its wings, transforms in the stillness of a cocoon. Your growth, your greatness, your breakthrough doesn't need a public announcement. It needs your focus. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them question why you're not the same person anymore. While they're busy watching, you'll be building. While they're doubting, you'll be evolving. While they're standing still, you'll be soaring. You see, when you leave them silently, you're not just walking away, you're walking toward the life you deserve, toward the dreams that keep you up at night, toward the version of yourself that you were always meant to be. And that journey, it doesn't require a crowd. It requires courage. This is your reminder that the noise around you will never be louder than the voice inside you unless you let it. Choose wisely what you listen to. Choose wisely what you carry with you. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. And that's not rejection, it's redirection. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight I challenge you. I challenge you to let go of the need to be understood, to release the chains of seeking validation, to walk away from anything that doesn't align with your purpose silently, powerfully, and without regret. Because the next chapter of your life doesn't need their approval. It only needs your commitment. Self-belief is the foundation of everything you will ever accomplish in life. It's not just a trait. It's a powerful state of mind that shapes your actions, your resilience, and your ultimate destiny. When you embark on the journey of leaving behind the doubts, the critics, and the unnecessary noise, the one thing you must carry with you is an unwavering belief in yourself. This is not arrogance or overconfidence. It's the quiet, unshakable knowledge that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. When you choose to leave them silently, you're making a profound statement to the world, and more importantly, to yourself. You're saying, I trust in my abilities, my dreams, and my purpose enough to keep moving forward without seeking approval. This kind of belief isn't something that comes from the outside. It's not given to you by applause, compliments, or recognition. It's built from within, forged in the moments when you face challenges head on and prove to yourself that you are more than capable of overcoming them. True self-belief begins when you stop looking for validation from others. It's human nature to want to be liked, understood, and supported. But relying on those external factors for your confidence is like building a house on sand, fragile and temporary. When you base your belief in yourself on what others think, you hand over the keys to your happiness and success to people who may not even understand your journey. Choosing to walk away silently is about reclaiming those keys. It's about saying, I don't need anyone else to tell me I'm enough. I already know I am. This isn't always easy. When you decide to leave toxic relationships, unsupportive environments, or unfulfilling situations, doubts will inevitably creep in. You might wonder if you're making the right choice or if you're leaving something behind that could have worked out. That's where self-belief becomes your compass. It reminds you that your instincts, your values, and your life are more important than clinging to something that no longer serves you. When you have true self-belief, you're not afraid to stand alone. You understand that solitude is not loneliness, it's an opportunity for growth. In the silence, you find clarity, you begin to hear your own thoughts, dreams, and desires more clearly. You realize that your worth isn't tied to how many people surround you or how loudly they cheer for you. It's tied to your willingness to show up for yourself day after day, no matter who's watching. Self-belief also gives you the courage to fail. Because let's face it, growth isn't always smooth. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and moments when things don't go as planned, but when you believe in yourself, failure becomes a stepping stone, not a stopping point. It becomes a lesson that strengthens your resolve rather than shaking your confidence. You know that each stumble is a part of the process, and you trust yourself to get back up and keep going. Walking away silently, fueled by self-belief, sends a powerful message to those who doubted you. It says, I don't need to prove anything to you because I've already proven it to myself. It shifts the focus from external validation to internal satisfaction. And the best part, the results of your quiet determination will speak louder than any argument arguably could. Growth is an inevitable part of life, but it doesn't come without its challenges. It demands courage, introspection, and often the willingness to leave behind people, situations, and environments that no longer serve you. Choosing to leave them silently is not just an act of walking away, it's a declaration of your commitment to personal growth. It's an acknowledgement that not everyone will accompany you on the journey to becoming your best self, and that's perfectly okay. The path of growth is often solitary. When you decide to elevate your life, not everyone will understand your decisions. Some may resist your changes because they're comfortable with the version of you that you've outgrown. They might question your choices, doubt your motives, or even try to pull you back into the patterns you've worked so hard to escape. This is where the silent aspect of leaving becomes so important. It's not about arguing, explaining, or justifying your decisions to others. It's about respecting your journey enough to move forward without distraction or direction or doubt. Growth requires you to prioritize yourself in ways that may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable at first. It's about recognizing that your time, energy, and attention are precious resources. You begin to understand that staying in situations that drain you or surrounding yourself with people who don't support your aspirations is a form of self-betrayal. When you leave them silently, you're choosing to honor your own needs and desires, even if others don't agree or approve. Silence in this context is powerful. It speaks to your maturity and your understanding that growth doesn't need to be loud or confrontational. You don't need to prove your worth or explain why you've chosen a new direction. Your actions, your evolution, and your eventual success will speak for themselves. By leaving quietly, you shift your energy away from external validation and focus it entirely on your own progress. The journey of growth is also deeply introspective. When you choose to step away from certain people or situations, you create space for self-reflection. You begin to identify what truly matters to you, what aligns with your values, and what fuels your passion. This clarity is essential because growth isn't just about achieving goals, it's about becoming the person you're meant to be. It's about shedding old layers, outdated beliefs, and limiting behaviors to step into a version of yourself that feels authentic and empowered. Leaving silently doesn't mean you harbor resentment or anger toward those you leave behind. In fact, it often comes from a place of gratitude. You can appreciate the role people or circumstances played in your life while acknowledging that their chapter in your story has come to an end. Growth is about accepting this truth with grace and understanding that letting go is sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for others. As you grow, you'll start to notice how your perspective shifts. What once seemed impossible becomes attainable. What once felt like a burden becomes a lesson. And what once held you back becomes the very thing that propels you forward. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you're destined to become. Growth is also contagious. When you choose to prioritize your development, you inspire others to do the same. Your silent departure can serve as a powerful example to those around you. It shows that change is possible, that it's okay to set boundaries, and that pursuing a better life is always worth the effort. You may not see the impact immediately, but your courage to grow will ripple outward in ways you can't imagine. Silent transformation is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth. It's the kind of change that happens not with loud declarations or public displays, but in quiet moments of self-reflection and relentless effort. When you decide to leave them silently, you embrace the art of evolving in your own space away from the noise, judgments, and opinions of others. This approach isn't just about avoiding confrontation. It's about channeling your energy toward building a better version of yourself without the distractions of external validation or criticism. Transformation by its very nature is personal. It doesn't need an audience to be effective. In fact, some of the most profound changes occur when no one else is watching. When you leave silently, you give yourself the gift of privacy, a chance to grow without the pressure of performing for others. You can focus entirely on your goals, your dreams, and your inner growth without feeling the need to explain your every move. This silence is not weakness. It's a sign of strength, confidence, and self-assurance. The journey of silent transformation begins with a decision. It's the moment you realize that staying in the same place physically, emotionally, or mentally is no longer an option. You acknowledge that growth requires letting go of old habits, toxic relationships, or environments that no longer serve you. Leaving silently is about taking that step with dignity and grace, understanding that your transformation is not a debate or negotiation. It's a personal commitment to yourself. One of the most beautiful aspects of silent transformation is the way it allows you to focus on the process rather than the outcome. In a world where so much emphasis is placed on appearances and results, choosing to transform quietly lets you immerse yourself in the journey. You can experiment, make mistakes, and learn without the fear of judgment. This freedom to grow on your own terms fosters deeper, more authentic change because it comes from within rather than from external pressures. Transformation in silence also teaches you patience and resilience. Growth is not instantaneous, it's a gradual process that requires consistent effort. By stepping away from the distractions of others' opinions, you learn to trust your own instincts and rely on your inner strength. Each small step, each tiny victory, becomes a building block for the person you're becoming. And as you continue to grow, you realize that the most important validation comes from within. When you leave them silently, you also create space for clarity. In the absence of noise, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. You begin to understand what truly matters to you and what aligns with your values and aspirations. This clarity empowers you to make choices that support your transformation, whether that means pursuing a new career, adopting healthier habits, or simply learning to say no to what doesn't serve you. Silent transformation doesn't mean you forget or ignore those you leave behind. It's not about resentment or cutting ties out of anger. Instead, it's about understanding that not everyone is meant to accompany you on your journey. Some relationships and connections are seasonal, and that's okay. Leaving silently is a way of honoring the role those people or situations played in your life while acknowledging that it's time to move forward. The most inspiring part of silent transformation is the impact it has on others, even if they don't realize it right away. When people eventually see the results of your growth, they're often left wondering how you achieved so much without making a fuss. Your quiet determination becomes a testament to the power of focus, discipline, and self-belief. You don't need to explain or justify your journey because your transformation speaks for itself. Letting go is one of the most challenging yet liberating acts we can undertake in life. It's a conscious decision to release the weight of relationships, environments, or habits that no longer serve our growth. Choosing to leave them silently amplifies this process, as it's not just about walking away but doing so with grace, dignity, and without unnecessary drama. Letting go in silence reflects strength, self-respect, and a deep understanding that some connections are meant to be temporary. The act of letting go often begins with self-awareness. You start to recognize when certain people or situations drain your energy, limit your potential, or disrupt your peace of mind. It might be a toxic relationship, a workplace that stifles your creativity, or even old habits that keep you stuck. When you choose to leave these behind, it's not because of hatred or resentment, it's because you value your well-being and your journey toward becoming your best self. Leaving silently isn't about avoiding confrontation, it's about conserving your energy for what truly matters. Letting go silently also requires immense inner strength. It's tempting to want to explain yourself, to defend your decisions, or to make others understand why you're choosing a new path. But the truth is, not everyone will get it. And that's okay. You owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your growth and happiness. Silence in this context isn't weakness. It's a sign of confidence in your decisions and trust in your journey. When you let go, you're not just leaving behind people or circumstances, you're making room for something better. Holding on to things that no longer serve you creates emotional and mental clutter, leaving little space for new opportunities, relationships, or experiences to enter your life. By walking away silently, you're signaling to the universe and to yourself that you're ready to embrace what's next. This process can feel lonely at times, but it's in this solitude that you discover your resilience and your capacity to thrive independently. Letting go silently doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It's natural to feel sadness, anger, or even guilt when leaving something or someone behind. But the key is to process those emotions in a healthy way without letting them consume you. Reflect on the lessons you've learned, express gratitude for the experiences that shaped you, and then release them with compassion. Holding on to bitterness only anchors you to the past, while letting go allows you to move forward with a lighter heart. Another powerful aspect of letting go silently is the boundaries it sets. It sends a clear message not through words, but through actions that you value your peace and won't compromise it for anyone or anything. This kind of boundary isn't about punishing others, it's about protecting yourself. It's about knowing when to step away from situations that don't align with your values, goals, or sense of self-worth. Letting go also teaches you about impermanence. Life is constantly changing, and so are we. Not every relationship or situation is meant to last forever. And that's not a failure, it's simply the nature of growth. By leaving silently, you honor the role those people or circumstances played in your life without clinging to them out of fear or obligation. You acknowledge that their time in your story has ended and that it's time to turn the page. As you let go silently, you might be surprised by the reactions of others. Some may try to pull you back, not out of malice, but because they're uncomfortable with change. Others might not even notice, and that can feel disheartening. But remember, this journey isn't about them, it's about you. Their reactions are not your responsibility. Your focus should remain on your own growth and the opportunities that await you. Inner strength is one of the most profound qualities a person can possess. It's not about physical power or loud declarations, it's about resilience, self-belief, and the ability to maintain your course even in the face of challenges. When you choose to leave them silently, inner strength becomes your greatest ally. It's the quiet confidence that allows you to walk away from people, situations, or environments that no longer align with your purpose, without the need for drama, explanation, or validation. Walking away silently requires a deep well of inner strength because it's not an easy choice. There's a natural human tendency to seek closure, to want to explain ourselves, or even to justify our decisions to those we're leaving behind. But inner strength teaches us that closure doesn't always come from external conversations, it comes from within. It's the realization that you don't need others to understand or agree with your choices. What matters is that you know why you're doing what you're doing and that you're at peace with your decision. The strength to leave silently is rooted in self-awareness. It's about recognizing when a relationship, situation, or environment is no longer serving your growth or well-being. This awareness isn't always immediate. It often comes after moments of frustration, sadness, or feeling stuck. But once you see the truth, inner strength helps you act on it. It reminds you that staying in the situation out of fear, obligation, or habit is a disservice to yourself. Inner strength also means trusting your instincts. There may be moments when doubt creeps in, when you question whether walking away is the right choice. Others might try to persuade you to stay, to compromise, or to settle for less than you deserve. But when you have inner strength, you trust your own judgment above all else. You know that you are the only one who truly understands your journey, and you have faith in your ability to navigate it. Leaving silently is an act of grace. It's about choosing not to engage in unnecessary arguments or conflicts. It's about valuing your peace over the need to be right or to have the last word. Inner strength allows you to step away without bitterness or resentment. Instead, you focus on what lies ahead, channeling your energy into building the life you want rather than dwelling on what you've left behind. This strength also enables you to embrace solitude. Walking away often means stepping into the unknown, and that can feel intimidating. But inner strength reminds you that solitude is not loneliness, it's an opportunity for self-discovery. In the silence, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. You can reconnect with your dreams, your values, and your sense of purpose. You realize that your worth is not determined by the company you keep or the opinions of others, but by your own self-respect and determination. Inner strength is what helps you stay committed to your path, even when it gets difficult. There will be times when you feel the urge to go back, to revert to old habits or relationships for the sake of comfort. But true strength lies in resisting that temptation and continuing to move forward. It's the ability to keep your eyes on your goals, knowing that the temporary discomfort of letting go will lead to long-term fulfillment. As you walk away silently, your inner strength becomes a source of inspiration, not just for yourself, but for others. People may not understand your decision at first, but over time they will see the results of your quiet determination. They'll notice your growth, your happiness, and the way you carry yourself with confidence and peace. And in witnessing your journey, they may find the courage to embark on their own.